Hi, in this video today we're going to see what happens when we power our SEGA Master System from AA batteries. So the SEGA Master System came out in 1986 and of course it uses a little adapter, power adapter to make it work. But would it work off AA batteries? Let's find out. So first of all we need to find out what the power supply is, and you can see here it only outputs 10 volts at 500 milliamps, so that's only going to be 5 watts. And if you have a look at the symbol at the bottom, this mimics the plug at the end here, and if you have a look, in this instance it's actually outer pin positive, center pin negative, so we need to remember that when we wire it up. So it's only 10 volts, not a lot whatsoever. Now these batteries are 1.5 volts each, but when they're brand new they often output 1.6 or a little bit more. So I'm thinking if we wire up 6 of them in series, then that will be 9 volts, but realistically it will probably give us 10 volts or a little bit more. Let's try that. Now with these batteries I can't find out what amps they are outputting, but if these were to be maybe, let's just call it 2 amps, I don't know if they are, then we're going to have 10 volts at 2 amps. So really it should easily power this, shouldn't it? Right, okay, so let's first of all wire it up, then we'll add the batteries in. And because it's going to be in series, I'm going to be putting the red lead of this one here to the black lead of this one here. And I'm just going to be using these little Wago connectors, but I'm also just going to twist the wires around each other to make sure it's good connection. So this is going to be our output here, and we should have around about 10 volts coming out here. So let's do positive to the negative because it's center pin negative. Right, I think that's it. Let's pop the batteries in and see what it measures. Got my multimeter here, I'm setting it to volts DC, which is this symbol just here. And this time, remember, we want to go positive on the outside and negative on the inside. And it's reading there, oh perfect, it's 10.1 volts. So let's see if that's going to power up the SEGA Master System. Here goes, what do you think, yes or no? I think yes. Green light on. Fantastic, look at that, from just the batteries here. Amazing. Right, so this has Super Hang-On and Safari Hunt. Let's go put a game in just to see if that's going to use any more power. So let's have a look at Altered Beast. This was one of my favourite games when I was younger. Now I think what we'll do is let's mimic the batteries running down as well. I can connect up my bench power supply and I'll keep lowering the voltage to then see what happens. Right, okay. Just do a little bit of gameplay. It speeds up when I get to be the wolf. This isn't the batteries, I really am this bad. Yes! There we go, you can see how much quicker it is. Right, so as you can see it's working perfectly well on batteries. Now let's mimic what happens when the batteries start to wear down. So I'm going to get my bench power supply set up and we'll set it to 10 volts and we'll keep dropping the voltage and then see at what point the game kicks out. Let's see if it like loses sound first, does it lose colour first, and we'll go from there. Okay, so you can see 10 volts here, and when I short the leads together it goes to 500 milliamps, so half an amp. So let's plug it in. Again, center pin is negative, and let's turn it on and see what it's drawing. So you can see there it's drawing 0.4 off an amp. So let's load it up and then we'll start knocking down the voltage, maybe half a volt at a time. So we know it's going to work at this one here. You've just seen that it was working before. So let's now drop the voltage down, and this mimics using the batteries. Yeah, so this is now going to be losing power. Okay. Right, so half a volt less, it still seems to be working fine. Let's do it a bit more. Can I put it on pause? Yeah, there we go. Right, now let's drop it to 9 volts. Okay, amazingly, it keeps working at 9 volts. I drop it to 8.5, it keeps working. I then drop it to 8 volts, it still works. I drop it to 7.5, it still works. Let's pick up the video when I drop it to 7 volts. It's still working fine, isn't it? Right, let's drop it more. Ah, here we go. Did it do something weird there? No, maybe not. Right, we're now at 6.5. Oh. Ah. I can't unpause it. Right, okay. Let's up it. I suppose I've lost it now. Let's up it back to 7. No, can't unpause it, so I've lost it now. Right, so it went down just below, what was it, just below 7. So now let's leave it at 7. And this time I'm going to play it. I'm going to turn it off. Let's see if it turns on at 7. I want to play it and I don't want to pause it. I just want to lower it down because I want to see what happens when it's not paused. No, there we go at 6.9. It's gone like that. Right, so it looks like 7 volts is the minimum. But now I've turned it back up. The sound's come back. But yet the gameplay hasn't. And also when you pause it, it holds onto the music. Can you hear? Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to up the current now. By quite a bit. I don't know what that is because I'll have to turn it off. But now let's see if I can lower it down on the voltage. Oh, look at that. Fancy. Pause doesn't work. Reset doesn't work. Now let's turn it off. Tell you what, let's see what we are at. I'm just unplugging it. Let's see what current we've got it at. Yeah, 3.5 amps there. Right, so it looks like it's the voltage. Let's see if it will turn on at 6.8. No, it won't, will it? No, so even on higher amps, it still won't turn on if the voltage is below, because it's still only drawing that, you see. Right, so it looks like the cutoff is 7 volts. Here we go, 6.9. Right, now, last bit of the video, I'm just going to go down in tiny amounts. So there we have it. So that is definitely the cutoff. Well, I found that quite interesting. What is interesting, how little power it really uses. Imagine trying to do that on a PlayStation 5. Maybe in a future video I will. Maybe I could buy a huge bank of batteries and see if I can get a PlayStation 5 running. So I think I'm going to work my way through the different systems and see what's what. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a massive thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, everyone.